Hi, my name is Jeremy, and I'm going to be presenting SightReader, which is a web application for learning how to read musical notation. Before we continue, I'd like to review some of the vocabulary that you'll need to know. Musical notation is pretty much a written representation of any song or melody that you would hear, and an example is the sheet music that you see on the right. Sight reading is the ability to read musical notation quickly and comprehend it so that you can play the piece without really spending time thinking about it. So the problem in our space is that sight reading is only accessible to those who are taking or have taken vocal or instrumental lessons. And not everyone has the ability to pursue these lessons, whether it's for time constraints or financial reasons. The obvious existing solution in this space is to take actual musical lessons with a professional instructor whose job it is to teach you how to read music. But as we discussed previously, that might not be available to everyone at all times. So there are a variety of online resources, whether it's in the form of WikiHow or YouTube tutorials, as well as mobile applications such as Music Tutor, which is pictured on the right, and NoteTeacher. The issue with video and text tutorials is that it doesn't lend itself very well to the tactile learner. If you're a hands-on type of learner, you're not going to get much out of this method. Mobile applications are a little bit more interactive, but there were a variety of issues that were identified. In Music Tutor, you're only able to read one note at a time, whereas the challenge in sight reading is being able to comprehend longer passages of music. NoteTeacher was tailored specifically to guitar, and there's no platform that exists that is agnostic towards any instrument. The proposed solution is to create a comprehensive web application which contains a tutorial interface for learning the fundamental concepts of reading musical notation and a game interface for practicing what you just learned. The goal is to enable musicians of all levels, whether they're practicing for the first time or they're honing their sight reading abilities. The motivation is as we learned in class. We aim to use technology to augment all forms of learning, with this project being specifically applied to learning how to read music. Another goal was to expose users to the musical world and to hopefully inspire them to pursue musical lessons on a more serious basis. Okay, so let's get started with a quick demonstration of the application. SightReader is hosted on jpepino.github.io. This is hosted on GitHub Pages. What you're seeing right now is the main landing page. This is a graphic which is rendered by Vexflow, and a quick description of the site's features, and a link to the tutorial. We want our first-time viewers to be able to access the tutorial easily. And the navigation bar is up top. Obviously, this button brings you back to this landing page. There's an option for the tutorial, the game interface, and just an about and contact me. So if we go into the tutorial, we have another graphic here which is rendered. This is a musical staff. The graphic is displayed in the front and the center of the screen, and a description is right under it, and all the important terminology is bolded so that you can quickly see the definitions of certain musical terms. We see on the right we have a navigation page. Each lesson is comprised of a few different sections. This one's only 3 sections, and you can also go back and forth between them using these navigation buttons. And if you feel especially motivated, if you just learned something that you want to action, then you go into here and it brings you right into the game interface. Obviously you can click the game button up top as well and brings you to the same thing. So this just describes the treble clef, which is this symbol right here. And the last section in this first lesson talks about time signature, beats, and measure. We can see the description is pretty verbose. It explains what it needs to explain, but it's long enough without being long-winded like some of the tutorials on WikiHow, which are just a wall of text, which is kind of overwhelming to the viewer. So let's go into the game interface. Let's click up here. So now we see our main interface for the game. We have metrics here that display your user's score, the time elapsed in each game, and your input accuracy, so how many notes you miss, how many notes you hit, and the percentage. User input is taken by these buttons, so you can start the game and then these buttons will be enabled, and you can choose a song you wish to play. So by default, the screen just displays random notes, but you can also select one of the pre-chosen songs here. Obviously we can add more in the future, but these were just the quick ones. The notes are only 1 octave right now. It's from C to C. So let's see that in action right here. So let's pick Muffin Man. So we can see the notes flowing to the left. If you play them, they'll go up. And if you miss one, it's going to give you a little error noise. And if it flows to the end, you see the accuracy going down, and your score is decremented by 10. And our score is getting pretty low here. So this is the end of the song, and at the end it displays you your final score, your accuracy that you ended with, as well as the notes that you missed most frequently. So this gives you kind of a way to figure out which notes you missed the most and what you can practice more. Thank you for taking the time to view my presentation. I just wanted to say a few words of thanks to Dr. Joyner for the creation of this course. This semester's mentors, I thought they did an excellent job, as well as the peer reviewers and fellow classmates. Their feedback and their encouragement was really what made this project possible. So thank you.